Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 940 of Screw the Commute podcast. Today we're going to talk about phone tips. And you know what? I've done, 10 or 12 episodes on phone tips, and I'm going to give you the numbers here during the course of this podcast, and it'll be in the show notes. And I'm telling you, if you just went and used a portion of these tips, you'd be so much faster on your phones and tablets doing stuff. And, you know, I use iPhone, but a lot of these same things will work on Android. You just have to, Google on how to do it on an Android. But the ideas are solid. All right, so this is episode 940. Hope you didn't miss episode 939. That was the pros and cons of logos. So I'm always looking at both sides of an issue on whether you should spend your time and money on certain things. Make sure you pick up a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. That's kind of what I'm talking about today. We're talking about automating yourself, and the phone will do so darn much for you if somebody just pointed it out to you. Okay, let's see. Also, check out my mentor program, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and my school, imtcva.org. Okie doke, let's get into the first tip here. Safari in iOS 18 will now summarize a web page for you. Like if you have a long web page, instead of reading the whole thing, you can go to the page settings, and a lot of times down in the address bar, it'll say summary available, and then that disappears. So you have to notice that fairly quick. But you can go to the page settings and click summarize, and it'll give you a summary of the whole darn thing. All right. Now, the only downside of this from a creator standpoint or a web owner standpoint is that there'll be less time on site. So it's kind of screwing you over a little bit on the visitor to your web page, but still, from the point of view of using this feature, it'll save you a lot of time. So that's summarizing web pages. Let's see. Now, here's one thing. I'm glad I kind of researched this, because this was happening to me all the time. I'd be busy, and I'd close a tab on the phone, and I didn't know how to get back to it. So I'm going to give you two ways to get back to a web page. Like if you just did it, all you have to do is go to Safari, and then there's a little icon down at the bottom that's the tabs icon. And it's kind of like two squares overlapping each other, a little bit offset. Well, you hit that, and then there's a plus icon. You hold that down, and it'll bring up a list of your recently closed tabs. So, boy, that's just saving me tons of stuff, because I work so darn fast. Sometimes I work too fast for my own good, and I'll close something I want to keep. Now, a secondary way to do this is go to the History tab of your Safari browser in your iPhone or your tablet or iPad, and there's a little thing that looks like an open book. That's your book icon, but that's actually your History tab. And so once you tap on that, there's like a little clock thing that's kind of saying, well, this is where you've been. So you tap that, and it shows that it's your history, basically, of where you have been to. So that's two ways to get to a web page that you closed. And go back and listen to this. If I'm going too fast for you. But right now, before I tell you some of the other cool things, I'm just going to read off a list. I don't expect you to memorize it. Hopefully, Larry will put them in the show notes for you, so you can just click on them. But these are all the other episodes I have on phone tips. And if you just went to them and implemented just one tip, and all of them have multiple tips. If you just did one tip from each one of those episodes, oh my God, you would be lightning fast on your phone, and be able to do all kinds of cool stuff that you never even knew it would do. So I'm going to read the list off. I know it's a little bit boring, but here we go. 918. Anytime you want to get to a back episode, you go to screwthecommute.com and then slash and then the episode number. 918, 828, 711, 627, 595, 573, 549, 528, 508, 472, 415, and 367. Right, and 940 will go at the top of this list the next time I do a phone tip episode. Okay, back to our couple other things for you. This one applies if you have a iPhone 15 Pro, 16 or 16 Pro, and 18.1 iOS or later. And this is something that's, I guess it's using AI, or something like Grammarly, but any text that you write on your phone, you can get the phone to rewrite it for you. All you have to do is select the text that you've done. It could be an email, could be a text. I think it'll work in your Notes app too, anywhere you're typing text. And then you either click the rewrite icon, or there's a little circular kind of, high-tech looking circle that's your Apple Intelligence icon. So you can click either one of those, and then it'll rewrite the text for you. And then there's a go back button if you want to. I think it's a little, looks like eyeglasses. I think that's it. But you can go back to the original and then do it again if you want to rewrite again. And you go back and forth. You can keep the original. You can, keep several different versions of it. It's really, really crazy. So if you don't feel like you're the greatest writer, or you jam stuff out too fast in texts and emails, it'll rewrite it for you. All right. So that's a pretty cool thing. All right. Now the next thing is in your Notes app, you can record and transcribe. Now you got to have 18.1 or later. And so here's how you do that. So you can go to your Notes app and then either open a note that exists or start a new one. And then there's a paperclip icon. And then you click that, and then it gives you some options, and you'll click record audio. And then you hit the record button. And then you can pause if you have to think about something or take a break, or you can hit done. If you hit pause, you'll get a resume button. And then when you're totally done, you hit done. And then there's a transcript icon that you can click, and then you click more. You'll see all this stuff. It's pretty intuitive. And you can rename your audio version of your transcript if you want, or you can leave it the same. It'll just be one is audio, one is written. And then hit return, and you go back to the notes you were working on. So it's just, it's such amazing, these things. Especially as I remember, I actually have it in my garage. I had the first mobile phone in the whole region when and it was in a suitcase. It was so big. I'd sit it on the seat next to me in my car, and it would hardly do anything. All right, so the last one we'll give you today is, I'm such a big fan of screen capture video. I have been preaching this like crazy. I'm sure I have episodes on it if you look back through our training. Anytime you want to see our training episodes, you go to screwthecommute.com/training. And we use Camtasia, the gold standard for this, but now, you can do this stuff right on your cell phone now. So you can do a screen capture easily by hitting just a photograph, basically, or a capture, just by clicking your off button and your volume button at the same time. You get a screen capture. But this is screen capture video, and you can narrate on top of it now. Amazing. And it's the same stuff I was doing in Camtasia to make a fortune. Since now going on 25 years, I've been doing screen capture video and narrating over top of what you could see on the screen. And I'd sold them Copywriting 901, the whole course other than the PDFs and stuff, or screen capture video where I show you how to write words that sell and all that stuff. So now on your iPhone, you can go open your control center, and usually that's swiping down from the top right to the bottom left. And there'll be a button in there. It should be in there. If not, you have to go into settings and tell it to put screen capture video in your control center, but mine was there by default. So I held the button down. I long pressed the screen capture video, and a menu popped up, and it says, okay, where do you want to save this? Okay, I'm going to put in my photos. And then you hit record, start recording, and then you hit turn microphone on. And then you can start talking of what you're seeing. It's recording the whole thing. You could make a whole course just by doing this now. And then when you're done, you hit stop, and it saves it to your photo roll. And there you got a video recording that you narrated, and that's what I've been doing for 25 years to make money. Doing all kinds of training courses and affiliate things. I would use it to show a program, and then they'd have to click through my affiliate link to buy the program. See, so it's all screen capture. So amazing kind of things you can do on your phones nowadays. Like I said, if you're on Android, just look up how to do some of this stuff on Android, because they're always, they're tracking right along with all the fancy things you can do. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So check out all those other episodes. Hopefully Larry will have them linked in the show notes. And if you took a week and just did a couple things a day, by the end of that week, you would save yourself literally hundreds of hours into the future, and be doing things you never even knew you could do. All right, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We'll catch you all in the next episode. Check out my school. Hey, if you want to do something great for your kids or your grandchildren, give them a scholarship to my school. Christmas is coming up. You couldn't give them a better legacy gift than that. All right, check it out. You can email me at tom@screwthecommute.com if you want to discuss it, and I'll tell you all the details. All right, catch you all in the next episode. See you later.